When you work alone, when you work alone, how do you look at an idea that you have in a different way? You know, when we work alone, we have our ideas up here. We think they're brilliant. However, we don't know really whether they're brilliant or not when we're alone. Well, I'm Sylvia Henderson, founder of the Idea Success Network, co-founder of Idea Mind Teams, and the host of Idea Success TV, which what you're watching right now. I've got over 20 years of corporate leadership in transforming ideas to action with my employees, and that's what I now do with entrepreneurs and with companies in my own business. And so one of the things I notice a lot of my clients face, because we're entrepreneurs, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur, is we get great ideas, but we get blind vision with our ideas. And we think that they're great, like I said, but they might have flaws or holes that we don't see. And while it's most effective to do ideation, which is to work through a lot of our ideas, while it's effective mostly to do it in a group, many times you can't do it in a group. You have to work alone. You know, in a group you get different perspectives, you get different experiences that feed into your idea. You hear different viewpoints, feed off of different people's strengths. There's different ways of interaction and perception in that group that we don't get when we're working alone. So in my work with clients, I created a tool that I actually use myself to take the areas that I just mentioned that are a benefit of the group, to take them into account and to work alone still, but use some of those concepts to give us a different perspective on our ideas. And that tool is something that I've called my idea journal. And so that idea journal, it's a physical book, and it's sort of a workbook so that you can work your way through one idea looked at different ways. So I want to share with you some of the pages that are in that book, not to make this a big marketing thing, because that's not my intention with this show, but to show you just some of the ways that you can work on your idea alone when you have to, and how to use a tool, either this tool or one like it. So let me show you some slides of some of the pages that are in the book. It won't be all the pages. I don't want you to study each page, but to know how to use something, the idea journal or your own thing. So one way, and keep this up for a minute, we'll keep this up for a few more seconds. One of the things that I'm completely aware of is that we think differently. I already said that. So one person might want to make lists, and that's one of the pages in the book. You see a 3-column page there. That's a list page for those who process their ideas by writing lists. Somebody else might take the same idea, and you don't deal with lists. You just want a blank page, and that's the page you see with just the light bulb one. It's a blank page. So you're kind of starting with a blank slate, and you can just ideate on that blank page. So that serves you. Somebody else, another of you, those two ways might not relate to you, might not reach you, and so, but you draw things, you're graphic, and so you might want to storyboard your idea. So there's a page that allows you to do that. And again, use this book or use your own pages, but these are just ways to get your idea out and see things from another perspective. So getting your idea out on paper is what that part of the tool allows you to do, or what you want to do if you don't want to use that tool. So the next set of pages that you'll see will allow you, they're just tips. And they're tips, this is the learning, they're tips to help you think of your idea in different ways. I ask a series of questions in one of the pages, and that's what you see on the first of the pages there on the screen on the left. You might ask yourself these questions and answer those questions about your idea. It's like somebody else asking you those questions. It's me asking you them on paper. You might be more structured, more systems, more sequentially oriented, more time oriented. And if that's the case, you might want to work out a timeline as you're thinking about your idea. How will that idea flow? So that gives you a perspective about your idea. Or you might want to use, I've got a tool within a tool, which is De Bono's 6 thinking hats. And so I give you that information in the idea journal. But you can go online and research De Bono's 6 thinking hats, and basically his method or his suggested tool is to look at your idea and put the proverbial 6 different hats on. So one of the hats gets you to be creative about your idea. Another hat gets you to be negative. Excuse me, be negative about your idea. Another of those hats might say be totally positive, completely positive, and forget anything negative about your idea. I'm not going to go through all 6 hats, but that's another technique for you to take the idea that you're alone with and try to make yourself think of it the way somebody else would, because other people would be taking your idea in many different ways. So yet another way to look at your idea alone, but get other perspectives. So there's another set of pages in the idea journal, and something that, again, you do it on your own if you want. Once you've got the ideas out on paper, it's time to figure out how you're going to take action on them, because really they're useless unless you take action on your idea. And if you haven't had a chance to run your idea past other people and you're still working alone, one way to start taking action on it or to start planning on your idea is the page on the left. I have you begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey talks about that in terms of taking action, and I basically adopt that here. I say start with the end in mind at the top and start at the bottom thinking through how will I implement my idea, what steps do I need to take, what actions do I need to take, what resources do I need. So basically it's begin with the end in mind. You know, take your own sheet and start from the bottom and work your way up if you want. Another way to take action is you have to communicate your idea to other people. Well, you don't want to get all verbose and deep about your idea if you want somebody to understand it. So I challenge you in the idea journal, I challenge you to say your idea in 25 words or write your idea out on one small page. And that's what those lines were for, is to say your idea in succinctly. If you can explain what you're thinking or what your idea is succinctly, you're more likely to get other people on board with where you're going with your idea. And then that final page was just, there's lots of other resources that I have and that you can find online in terms of ideation, which is just one step of my idea to impact process, which is another whole show. Resources on ideation as well as other ways to get your ideas into action. So with that, I'll wrap up to say that if you're working on your idea alone, some ways to help you get other perspectives and maybe see holes that you didn't even know were there with your idea, and to add to your idea so it gets more solid and you have something more to work with. You can use my idea journal. And before you see the slide again, I just want to show you. You can't see this, but just to show you, this is my own. You're going to see, you see Post-it notes in here. You might see that there's some writing. I don't know if you can see that from here. I use my own idea journal. So that's what you're looking at. Uh-oh, that was a green piece of paper. I use my own idea journal. And I just wanted you to know that I do practice what I preach. So to order your idea journal, here's how to order it. You can find it at, if you want to, you can find it at my website, or you can order it from my website. I need the information that I have up on the screen here from you. It's secure. I won't share it with anybody else. And I will save you the postage and send you your very own idea journal if you want it. But you now have the concept. You now have the tools that I shared with you just in this program to do it on your own if you don't want to get the idea journal. So if you liked what I shared with you here, then you can connect with me. You can at sylviahenderson.com in order to get more of what you heard here today. in order to engage with me and to allow me, if you so choose, to help you transform your ideas to action and, more importantly, to income. With that, I invite you to watch the next program and to make a great day.